Okay, let's see if everything is working.
I think
Perfect.
it will start in
Okay,
30 seconds.
it started. So hello everyone. Finally, I got Alex here, a marketing representative from Insta360, to join me during everything is working. To join me in this live here with you to answer the questions that you've asked. It started. Okay, so I had to turn my phone off. And hello Alex. I hope you're good.
Yeah, hey Ravi. Yeah, all good here. Yeah,
You're
ready
in
for
China
the...
now. It's 10 p.m. there. I'm sorry to bother you at this time, but
Yeah,
thank you
no
for being
problem. No,
here.
it's always good to talk to you and to answer the community questions and to have a sharing session where you can learn from our company, but also I can also learn from you and from your users and audience and try to get more feedback. It's always good. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that you were in CS in the States recently. How was the trip? How was Insta360 doing there?
Yeah, so actually it was a busy last 2 weeks. We went to CES to present, for the first time some of our products. For example, the acepro 2 is something that we never presented officially in public in a trade show. So it was a good chance to get feedback and get reactions, and also all the other products that we have. So CES is always a very important event for us. It sets the beginning of the year, and it's also a very busy event where technology enthusiasts and media come, but also many other people kind of audience come, like videography audience, entertainment, broadcasting. So it's a very diverse audience to interact with. And also besides of that, it's also good to see new technologies, new emerging ideas that maybe we can also be inspired from and also learn. So it was a very fun CES, especially EV cars, AR glasses, AI. So it's also our cameras. So
Yeah.
it's a good mix of technology that if you're a tech enthusiast, I'm sure you can enjoy a lot.
Well, I would love to participate, but it's gonna be maybe in a year or two because I don't know. I told you before that I have many jobs during one day. I have several things that I accumulate, and I'm leaning towards the content creation thing much more recently, and I'm trying to reduce my daily work time in order to be able to make more content. So I
Yeah.
hope that for the upcoming year or in 2 years that I can take a decision to go full-time content creator because it's time consuming. This is something that people don't know. When they watch a video, they think that you just click record and then 10 minutes or 12 minutes later, that's it, you post it as it is, and but it takes lots of time, it takes lots of trials. So if I just post the trials that I do before having a good section that I can post, it can feel like hours and hours.
I know, I know. I can imagine. Also, I'm in touch with many creators and content creators, YouTubers, influencers, celebrities, and I know how difficult it is to create content. It's not a magic button that you start record and everything goes smooth. You need to prepare a lot of scripts and ideas and creative concepts. Also, you need to analyze the market, what works well, what other people is doing. It takes so much effort and energy, and I understand that if you're growing and trying to get a spot in this industry, you need to fight and to work very hard. So I think your channel is doing very well. I think since the last time we talked, your channel grew a lot in terms of views and also topics that you cover. I think you don't limit yourself just on action cameras. You did other things as well. So yeah, I think your channel is
Well,
taking a turn and
actually,
good.
actually, we discussed last time by phone, me and you, but I like creating content about action cameras, but it's not the only topic that I like to talk about because it's like when you have a passion, when you like singing, you cannot limit yourself to one kind of songs or to one kind of music. You're like open to different things, but I can see that the audience and people on YouTube are mostly interested in small cameras, in pocket sized cameras, and I can see that big YouTubers, they are going to this niche as well recently. For example, Peter McKinnon, the one that you worked with for the Insta360 X4 bundle. And
Yeah.
he never made videos about small cameras. And he said when he made the video that was sponsored by Insta360 that he won't be using these cameras to vlog or to make content with, but he is going to introduce it a little bit into his workflow, because I think he found that the market needs to see this kind of topics much more than the big cameras and so on. So by the way, in speaking of that, thank you a lot for this one.
Oh yeah, you got the foldable selfie stick. That's amazing, huh? Do you like it?
It's amazing because, to be honest, the Insta360 X4 is, I don't talk a lot about it because recently we have the DJI Action 5 Pro and the Ace Pro 2 and all these cameras and the drones and so on. But this camera, the X4, is the camera that I like a lot. So this is the camera that I will always want to use, even though I don't introduce the videos or the rushes inside of my YouTube videos. But it was always complicated to put it inside of a pocket, to put it properly inside of a bag. But with this stick here, it's like genius, really. It's something, it should have arrived before.
Cameras, I always think about three important areas when we make cameras in our company. One of them is obviously the camera hardware. Camera hardware, I think it's something that we have done at a very high level, and many companies do very well. Camera hardware is very important to pay attention and to make perfect, but also the software, obviously the software, the firmware, the app, the studio, very, very important to complement and also to expand the potential. But then in addition, some people overlook the accessories and the mounts. So the accessories will, dictate how do you use cameras, how often do you use them, what angles do you get, and how do you carry them. If carrying a camera for you is bothering because a selfie stick is heavy or long and you're gonna put in your pocket because you don't want to have a backpack to carry selfie sticks, you will not use the camera so often. So this accessory is meant to serve that user who want to carry the camera always with them and don't want to have a backpack or a separate bag to carry that, or to use the space that they already want to use for other things. So you can use it you can put it on your coat or on your jeans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I cannot put it inside of a jeans because it's gonna be tight, I think. But
oh, you can. Actually, I did that, and it's maybe not ideal, but it's workable.
I'm always afraid. I'm always afraid to scratch the screen and to scratch the lenses. Not only for this camera, even for my phone, I have always the tempered glass on top. But on this one, I have to put the tempered glass maybe, and that will be good. By the way, you talked about the application. Yesterday, Insta360 released the firmware for the Ace Pro 2, the new firmware. I was testing it, but the weather is very bad outside. It was raining today and so on. So I have this open here. I don't know if you can see because I was testing the mics.
Yeah.
And
so with the new microphones now. Do you have the HoloLens?
I have the HoloLens M2, not the M2S. They will send me the M2S maybe after the new year because there is the Chinese New Year very soon now. And I tried the M2 and the DJI Mic Mini. I haven't checked the videos yet. They are still on the memory card. And I would like to make some more footage with the pure video mode because we have the enhanced now sharpness in the pure video mode and in the iLog. So I'm very curious to see that. I'll compare them head to head with the old firmware. So expect to see that probably by Friday. Because today it's not possible to go outside to make any low light videos. The weather is so bad. Probably tomorrow it's gonna be better. So I'll try to make some footage tomorrow and post the video on Friday.
Yeah, it's a good update.
To be honest, I wish I have the updates before, So yesterday the weather was better, so I could have gone outside and took these shots. But
no worries. No worries. That's
problem.
part of the. You don't get too much pressure. If you need to wait one day to video, it's okay. This
it's
update
like
on a good time because now we relaunched the camera. We have a stock available again. So it's if you got the camera and you are a new user, you will find that it has even more features. But if you had the camera from before and you want to use it again, it has now a whole new potential. So the microphone compatibility, also improvements on the low light video, improvements on the log. So it's in my opinion, it's a very good update, and it comes in a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah, Q1,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, input, and that's yeah. We will keep improving it. We will keep focusing on the user experience. Many of these updates come from features that the users request or they suggest, and then we add them. So if anyone has ideas or suggestions, they can send it to you. You can send it to us, or they can also send us on social media. We definitely listen to the user, and that's one of our priorities always.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that's something that I really appreciate with Insta360, because you are always there on social media to follow up with people with their complaints, because on social media, unfortunately, we see mostly complaints rather than good things. And you are
Yeah.
always following up. And today I read a comment by someone who got a camera, and well, he didn't have issues with it. He scratched the lens, so he sent the camera back to Insta360, and
Mhm.
he was waiting to pay for that, for the reparation. But then he got a new camera from Insta360, a brand new one instead, and he was very happy, And that's something really really nice to follow up with the clients, to show them that you care for what they do and so on. Anyway, just to tell the people who are watching, because I cannot follow when I'm talking to you, I cannot follow exactly the chat list, but we will make a giveaway during this live stream, so you can get one Insta360 Ace Pro 2, the brand new camera, not this one, of course, a brand new one sent directly from Insta360. And thank you for being here. By the way, I still have my affiliate code with Insta360 if you'd like to purchase the Ace Pro 2 or the X4 or any other camera. And in maybe a few days, I'll be making a video about the Flow 2 Pro, which, to be
Oh,
honest, and I'll be very honest with you, it was not something that I like, because I'm not a phone shooter. I don't shoot with a phone.
okay.
So I reviewed many phone gimbals before, whether DJI, Hohem, and Hohem is a great one. It's big, it's bulky, but it's a great one. I love the detachable screen and so on. But this
Yeah.
one, I tried it yesterday at night with my phone, the Samsung Galaxy S24,
Yeah.
which is not an iPhone, but it works really well, and it's not big,
Yeah.
it's not heavy, and again, it's like compact. You can put it inside of your pocket, inside of the sweatshirt pocket, and this is something cool. Yesterday, I made a video for the DJI FOV boost lens. All the intro was shot with my phone.
Yeah.
So if I can couple that with a small gimbal that can be always with me, which is not big, not heavy, that's something very cool. So yesterday I was very curious to try it with an Android, and I cannot use the main camera of the Android, which is very normal because this one is more for the iPhones. But if I use the main camera of the Android, I can do everything I want as well without like the NFC. It will not work as it should be with an iPhone.
We
So
will be improving the experience for Android users. So now it's definitely some of the features that you have on the Flow 2 Pro are not compatible with Android because they are for Apple Dock-Kit, and we optimize for Apple users. But we will be improving the Flow 2 Pro for Android. There will be new hardware coming in the near future that will also allow Android users to get
yeah,
similar experience to ours.
yeah,
So you can
that will that will be something cool, because we don't all have iPhones. Personally, I don't like the experience on the iOS. I tried even the Google Pixel 8, which is a great phone, but I didn't like the my user experience. It's not something that fits in my
You're a
daily
Samsung guy?
workflow. Well,
Are you
it's not
a
like a
Samsung guy?
Samsung guy, but I'm used to it. It's like Nikon and Canon. I love Canon cameras, but
Yeah.
I'm more like to Nikon, because the first camera I bought was a Nikon, and it's
Oh, I
different.
think we are the same kind of people, man. I also use Samsung since the Samsung Galaxy S3. Actually,
Yes,
Galaxy Nexus,
S2.
like, the Galaxy Nexus?
Yeah,
The Nexus was S2 modified. It was like a S2 Plus, and then I use it since then. But to be honest, now I moved to iPhone, and the only reason is because our app and all our ecosystem is a bit better on iOS. And that's
Yeah,
not because we put more effort. It's just because it's much more easy to optimize. Android, there are so many fragmentations, so many different processors, so many different variations of processors, screen resolutions, camera manufacturers. So it's impossible. No company will ever provide the same experience on iOS than Android. You can find any example, DJI,
yeah,
Hohem, you name it. So it's yeah. So to me, and now I use both, but when I use our cameras or any tech product, I tend to use iOS more now.
yeah,
But yeah, I think also Samsung is the best, in my opinion, the best Android phone that you can buy. And I still use my Samsung S21 Ultra, 10x zoom, amazing camera, amazing screen. But yeah, it's case by case. I keep switching.
yeah. So, and for the people are watching, if you would like to get a chance to win the Ace Pro 2, you have to write in the comment section or in the chat list where are you coming from, where are you watching this video from, and so that will be taken into account when we will choose the winner at the end of this video. It's not a way to keep you staying with us till the end, but during this video we will talk about some questions that you've sent me, and of course you can send some questions after we finish the question that you already sent me. You can start sending your questions on the chat list so Alex can answer, and yeah, you can get everything you want. And I wanted to make this video because there are people saying that you are like paid by Insta360, or you are like you are influenced by Insta360, that's why you prefer this camera on that camera. And to be honest, it's not true at all. I personally like the way that Insta360 think and how they contact the people who create content and how they answer the people who have problems with their cameras. For me, they were like listening to what we have, and it was the idea of Alex to get the answer, to get the questions from you and to answer them. And I said, why not making it live? It's the first time I have someone with me in the live streams. Last year we recorded the video and then we posted it, but now in order to be more transparent, we decided to make it live. So everything that will happen in this live will be really live, so you can ask your questions later on and so on. So Alex, if we can start by some questions that I've got on some
Sure.
videos, because
Yeah.
I try always to tell in my videos, I don't make real comparisons, like I don't give my thoughts or my personal opinion. I just try to keep it as wide and as like objective as possible, so people they can decide which camera is better, which mode is better, which mic is better, and so on. Because what works for me does not mean that it should work for the others. What I think is good for me is not what the others think that is good for them. Even though from time to time recently I made the comparison with DJI Action 5 Pro, and for me, once again, there are two action cameras, but for all purpose cameras, in my opinion. They are not only to ride some bikes or to have like to jump from an airplane and so on, but these cameras can be really amazing. And the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 this year brought lots of stuff, such as the mic, such as the flip up screen, which we had it before, the clarity zoom, and lots of cool features that we cannot find elsewhere, we cannot find on the other camera. That's why this is the camera personally I go with. I use the DJI, but this is the camera that if you now ask me which one you will pick, it's gonna be this one and the X4, because I can do lots of stuff with this one that the other camera cannot do. Okay, so the questions, so I have a list of them. I got lots of questions from India, by the way.
From India? Okay.
People in
Cool.
India, they say that the price of the camera is much more expensive in India than elsewhere. And if they want to buy the accessories, it's also expensive.
Okay. Yeah, I think India. Yeah, I think it's fair to complain because I am aware our price in India is not ideal. It's not maybe not very competitive, and that's because maybe we haven't entered this market officially on a big scale. I think we have some reseller and some distribution, but not at the same level as other regions like Europe or US, where we have a big focus, and that's something that we have on our to-do list. I think we need to improve this, and our sales team is at some point will make sure that this is improved. Also, India is a very challenging market in terms of imports, especially if you manufacture and you ship from China. They have very big tariffs to Chinese goods, and that's one of the reasons why it's maybe a bit expensive and not accessible. Yeah, I think that's the main reason. And the other reason is, yeah, maybe we need to find better distribution and maybe better economy of scale that we can import bigger volumes and achieve cheaper prices for our distribution.
Because they told me that they cannot go on the Insta360 website and buy online as well.
No, I think
Okay,
India is exclusively via local distribution. We
okay.
cannot ship from, even if we want to do it, I think is very challenging to do that
You
from
know, I
China.
think in Lebanon, because I'm from Lebanon basically, and in Lebanon we cannot also order lots of stuff online. I haven't tried Insta360 there, but I think it's a bit complicated for the import and so on. So, and we only rely on local distributors.
Yeah, that's in some regions it's a problem that we need to fix. I don't know Lebanon in particular, but I'm sure it might be still tricky to get from there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there are some questions about pure video mode, which is by far the most important or the most interesting and the most selling point, in my opinion, for this camera or for even the Ace Pro. Um, Let me start by the first one. The pure video mode is fully automatic, and
Yeah.
there are people saying why we don't have like flexibility in like some of the menus in some of the settings so we can tweak them, in the pure video mode, which is,
Mm.
I think it's a legit question because, as I said before, a camera has it, like the color signs of the camera of this one are not the same as my Fuji here or as my Sony here or as even my Link 2 which is behind. So every camera, every sensor has its own color science behind, and there are people who don't like that tones and they would like just to tweak it a little bit, or there are stuff that people are asking about, especially about this one. They say that we have some yellowish tones, especially in the pure video mode, which I don't feel it's a big of a deal because it's easy to adjust that later on in post. But people are asking if we can have maybe in the firmware update something that we can tweak inside of the pure video mode.
Okay, yeah, I think it's a good question, and I remember when we launched the Ace Pro One. At the beginning, Pure Video also had manual settings. You could use Pure Video and you could adjust ISO, white balance, maybe shutter speed. I'm not fully sure about that, but it had some manual settings, and it was something that we initially thought was a good idea. But then the feedback we got from our engineers that ultimately decide to close this option is that Pure Video is a very special video mode. It's not like a normal video mode. It's using a lot of computing, a lot of AI algorithms. So the camera is using a very special sensor mode that in the wrong settings, it will look very, very bad. So in most of the cases when we try to use manual settings or where people try to use manual settings on the Ace Pro 1, also on Ace Pro 2, we had some testing. In most of scenarios, maybe 90% of cases, the video was looking much worse objectively than with pure video full automatic. That said, at the end of the day, the user could decide and could, if even if objectively is worse quality or worse image quality, I would personally agree that maybe the user could, decide to have the lower quality but more control, or at least try it out and then decide by themselves. So it's something that is a legit question and feedback. We have been getting this sometimes here and there. Some users and also some influencers report that feature improvement, and I think we can keep sharing that internally and maybe getting different perspectives. And maybe in the future we can open that option again, or at least some degree of customization on the settings. Yeah.
Yeah, and there is some guy who asked me yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago, about clarity zoom in pure video mode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So as I said, clarity zoom is a function that it's using, computing to do that seamless transition and to change the video mode when you do zoom and when you don't do zoom. It's actually using two different sensor modes. And as far as I understand, technically it's impossible to do on pure video because pure video is using one of the sensor modes, might not be compatible when you use the zooming mode. When you do zoom, it's using only the pixels in the center of the sensor to keep that resolution, and it's not using quad pixel binning. I understand pure video is using always quad pixel binning. If you only use the center of the image, you will lose all the potential of pure video, and maybe it will make sense to just shoot in normal video mode. So it's more like a contradiction between the logic of pure video and clarity zoom. But maybe we
Okay,
could offer some digital crop, and that will be maybe
because
still. Sure.
because we have 2 times crop or 2 times zoom in pure video mode.
Yeah, yeah, maybe it's
And
more digital crop.
yeah, but it could be a digital crop. But personally, when I took some rushes when the camera was released back in maybe November, I took some rushes in pure video mode with this 2 times zoom, and then I took the same image and then I zoomed in post. I got better quality taken with the 2 times zoom built in the camera than when I crop in post and get the 2 times zoom in post digitally. So that's why I think that there is something of the pure video, or maybe this is the AI chip that is maybe enhancing the footage based on the pixels that are captured, or I don't know. But if we use the function that is inside of the camera, in my opinion, we'll get better result than if we will zoom later on in post.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in normal video, that's how it works, and maybe also in pure video. Maybe I'm just wrong. But clarity zoom logic in normal video, maybe also in pure video, is that. So when you don't do clarity zoom when you are in 1x, it's using the 8K resolution, downscaling to 4K and doing quad pixel binning. And then when you crop in, it's using 1 pixel in one, keeping the center of the sensor still in 4K. So the resolution is always 4K and 4K, even if it's 2x. But it's using that full sensor pixel bin, or half of the sensor, the inside part, and it's not half, it's less than half, just for the central pixels. Same logic what does iPhone with the digital lens, the 1x and the 2x. It's doing that cropping, but still getting the real resolution. It's not a digital crop, and that's a big contrast when compared to digital crop, or when you compare to GoPro or DJI or any other camera with digital crop. There is a real difference, very, very visible, especially in daylight.
Yeah. And I got some questions about improving the camera for underwater shooting, and we got that in this firmware. But as for I'm not an underwater shooter, so I cannot test that. But we have this improved in the latest firmware that was released yesterday. There are people asking why we only have 2 times zoom and not 1.5 times zoom and so on. And the idea is that we crop from 8K, we go from 8K to 4K, so we have the 2 times zoom that can be applicable. If you'd like to get less zoom, it's better to shoot in 8K and then crop later on. It's the most ideal way, in my opinion. But 2 times zoom, I think it's a good thing. And there are people asking why we don't have horizon lock in pure video mode.
Okay, I think it's about computing power. So pure video is very demanding. It is making the camera go at the limits of the computing power that it can have. So it's yeah. Then if you need to put the computing power into horizon leveling to compensate and crop dynamically, it will be reducing the pure video performance.
And I think it's also related to that pixel binning, because if the pure video mode is based on the pixel binning of combining 4 pixels in one to go from the 8K to the 4K file, that means that if the image is a little bit off to one side or to another side, it has to crop more in, and you won't have the real 4K resolution, and it's gonna be also less.
Definitely, that can be another reason. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe if there is a possible update, it can be possible, but in 2.7K and not in 4K, for example.
Yeah. I think it's legit.
In pure video mode.
I think if it's possible, and there is a strong demand, we would definitely do it. So it's about how many times we get this feedback, how relatable it is for the actual users, and then if it's possible to achieve technically, you can trust that we will do our best to provide that option.
Yeah.
So all these questions, I will definitely take note of this. I will watch this live stream again later and share all these to R&D. And maybe, who knows, in the next live stream, we can say that one of these features was already in the product.
Yeah, that will be good. There are people asking about subject tracking, and well, subject tracking, because now unfortunately we see something on a camera, we want exactly the same on the other one. So subject tracking, mainly it will crop inside of the image, and you will have, even if you export in 4K, that means that you are expanding the same pixel and you're losing quality. And this is something that can be easily done in post, but I don't know. There are people asking about that. If you have any idea if it can arrive to the Ace Pro series.
What's your opinion of this feature? Like, when do you see this feature on an action camera being very useful?
Well, I never used it. I have it on my Sony, on this one, A6700. I have it on my ZV-E1, which is the main camera for my YouTube videos, and I don't use it.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't use it.
You know, when the neighbor has a new car or something, you always compare. But actually, do you actually need that? Think critically about that. Maybe it's a nice feature to have in some situations, or for some particular use case, it's very, very important. But you know, in our user research, we never saw any need of that feature, and you know, it maybe, I don't want to say it will never come, but you know, it's not a huge demand from users. So we try to focus on the things that we actually need to improve. There are many things we need to improve, definitely, like anyone else, and yeah. So maybe this feature is not very high demanded on our ranking of priorities when we do customer service for action sports, for blogging, for daily users.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. There are people asking about start time of the camera, that it's like not so fast, and when you try to talk and to record your audio, there is always like maybe a fraction of a second without audio in the beginning.
When you do quick capture, you mean?
Yeah, when you do quick capture, I noticed that in the beginning there is like maybe a third of a second or something like that. It's a short part, you know, a very short part without audio, and then it will start. So for me, it's not a problem, because whenever I start recording, the time that I put my hand away to start recording the video that I want to make, I'm fine with that. But yeah, there are people asking about it.
Yeah, I think it can be one of the optimizations we can make.
Yeah.
So if we achieve that, it will not make a groundbreaking change on the product, but it will be 1% better. So I think this is always very good feedback to collect. I personally don't know about this issue. I never realized that there is this 0.3 second delay on or lag on starting the capture.
Maybe less also. I'm not sure about that, but few frames are without audio, you know, and then it starts. And I remember last year. Yeah, I remember last year with the pure video mode on the Ace Pro 1. When no, not the pure video mode, the clarity zoom. When you used to click on the clarity zoom, we had like a lag, and this lag was optimized in the upcoming firmwares and the newest firmware for the camera, and the lag has been reduced a lot. So I think this is something that can be adjusted via firmware in a way or another.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was one of the things we very quickly improved on the Ace Pro 1. And also on the Ace Pro 2 has been even enhanced and improved even more. But yeah, all these small tweaks and improvements, please always report them, and please always share with us, because we also need people testing the cameras in different environments that we don't test, or for different use cases that we don't actually contemplate. And if it
Of
will be
course.
helpful for other people, we will always try to improve it. So it's very helpful for us.
Will you add a webcam feature to this camera? I'm not going to use it, but there are people who would
Well,
like to use it as a live stream camera.
I think it already has a webcam feature, right? The Ace Pro 2.
I don't know. It has a dash cam feature, that's for sure.
Yeah, you need to
But
connect via USB-C to a computer, and then
okay,
it will pop up an option. Otherwise, you will
okay.
not see it. It needs to be connected.
Yeah, but it need to be connected. It's not like the DJI Pocket 3. You can go wirelessly and have your live stream with it.
Ah, I see. You mean a live stream function?
Yeah, via the application. I don't know if it's
Got it.
some.
Yeah. So, okay. I think it's feedback we can adapt always.
Yeah,
Maybe it's not the high priority, but maybe we can pay attention. We are developing always new accessories and new software. I cannot say much now, but I know things are coming,
yeah,
and maybe one of the things we are working on in the future will serve the user who requests this feature in some way.
yeah. I have few more questions, but since you mentioned the upcoming things, there is a question that I'm receiving a lot. Will there be an Insta360 X5? Will there be an Insta360 Ace Pro 3? And there are people saying, and I think it's so funny. They are interested in this camera, but then you see someone replying the other guy's comment and saying, "No, don't buy the Ace Pro 2. Wait for the Ace Pro 3."
Yeah, but
And my answer is that wait for the Ace
you know,
Pro 7. That will be
yes,
even that will be even better. But
yes.
since from now till then, stay in your place, hiding behind your keyboard and writing comments.
You can always be unhappy whatever you buy. I just bought
Yeah,
the new MacBook computer, and I know in 1 year or in 6 months I'll be something better, and I will feel it's not the new one. You need to change your mindset sometimes, and just try to see if the choice that you make today is the best thing you can have today, or the thing that can serve you today. And even if the company releases something new in 1 month or in 1 year or in 10, your product will still be an amazing product. People who bought the Ace Pro 1 last year are still using it, and they love it, and they don't need to maybe upgrade to the Ace Pro 2. But maybe some people do it because they think there is a need for that. We make amazing cameras since many years ago, and the cameras we make today are to be used for the next 5 years, and they will still be, you know, competitive. So
mm,
I would focus on if we launch X5 or Ace Pro 3, because it's obvious. It's an obvious answer. Obviously, we will make more cameras in the future. It's not the last camera we launch, but you can apply that to GoPro, DJI, or Nikon, whatever you buy.
if I can have just a word for the X5 or the upcoming 360 camera, if it can have like a 1 over 1.3 inch sensor, dual sensors instead of half-inch sensors, that will be a huge upgrade for the 360 for this 360 world. But this is just me saying it. There is a guy that I really appreciate. He's been watching my videos since I had maybe 30 subscribers, you know. And he told me that, and he bought the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. He bought last year the Ace Pro 1 after I made my videos on it. And he told me that he has an issue with the max ISO setting. When he put the
Mm-hmm.
max ISO setting on the camera, and for a reason or another, he turned off the camera and then he turned it on. And this max ISO setting goes to default, if we can say that. It won't stay the
I
same,
see. I see.
you know.
Okay.
This is something
Okay.
that can be adjusted via firmware, or maybe, I don't know if it's a bug on his camera. To be honest, I tried. I have two Ace Pro 2. I
Yeah.
tried it last week during the live stream. I tried my first Ace Pro 2 in front of during the live, on the screen, and I didn't have that issue. And when I got the second Ace Pro 2, I tried it in my living room. I didn't have this issue, but I don't know if it's something that's happening on some,
Mm.
or
I
it's a
think it's
bug on a
possible.
camera or another. I don't know.
It's possible that it happens. I don't know of this problem, but my guess now is that maybe when you do it, turn off the camera, remove the battery, put the battery again, and turn on again. Maybe if you do that, you will lose that setting, that cache memory.
Yeah,
It's possible. It's my guess now. Maybe you can do the test again and see if
yeah.
this is.
Okay.
But yeah, we could definitely report this issue, and maybe we can improve it and make it that on any scenario it will always keep the max ISO levels and settings.
Yeah,
You know, very,
I think there is another way around if we can save like a user setting, like frame rates, resolution, and all the settings, and we can save that as a custom profile. I think the custom profile will stay and will not like go to default when we restart the camera.
yeah, got it. Yeah, I think this can definitely be improved by software, and I will definitely transfer this to the R&D.
Will you? Well, I know it's not possible to improve the wireless Bluetooth capabilities. I mean, like not the wireless Bluetooth because I connect the how we call it, the preview Bluetooth remote from Insta360 and it works, So this is not an issue of Bluetooth compatibility or Bluetooth frequencies. But DJI, they have their own Osmo audio profile or Osmo audio technology. That's why they have in their cameras built-in receivers. That's how we get crisp audio with their microphones without connecting a receiver to it. And if we try DJI mics on our smartphones, we won't have the same exact audio quality via Bluetooth like the one that we have via the receiver.
Yeah.
So people are asking first if it's possible to improve the Bluetooth capability to be able to read that Osmo audio. I think, to be honest, you can correct me, but I think this one is not possible unless you can do some reverse engineering on their system. But and include it maybe in the upcoming version, some like a receiver. But if you include the receiver inside of your camera, that means that DJI will make another microphone that won't be compatible, with different frequency. This is my opinion and my idea about it. But I think that it's time for Insta360 to make your own wireless microphone that can work with the X4, that can work with the Ace Pro 1, Ace Pro 2, even with the Go 3S, because this camera is not didn't get the hype as much as the other cameras, as the X4 and the Ace Pro 2 and the Go 3S and the Go 3 are amazing cameras,
Yeah.
And if we can get like cool microphone that can work perfectly with it wirelessly, that will make it, I think, one of the most selling elements from Insta360.
Yeah, I think accessories and expanding the features and all these additions. For example, a microphone. I don't know if we will make ever a microphone, but if we did that, it would definitely make sense to have our own microphone audio algorithms to connect with our cameras and in a native way. That makes sense. And DJ, I think does a good job on that. And yeah, you can add some more on this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it for me. I think it makes sense to make microphones. Now we can see on the internet some microphones that, for example, the Ulanzi wireless microphone is at about 40 euros.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it
There's
delivers
also
great quality. It delivers great quality. It's not like. And if I compare it to DJI, there is an upcoming video comparing the DJI, which is the most expensive one, on my mini microphone, with the least expensive one, which is the Ulanzi. If I don't put on the screen, if I will not put on the screen which is which, it's impossible to know.
Yeah. Yeah, many companies can release amazing hardware for a fraction of the price of the premium products. And many times you can miss some features, that premium features, but the core features, they do it very well. And for many users, that's more than enough. And maybe the microphone you mentioned now, from Ulanzi, you said?
Yes,
Ulan? I
yes.
haven't tried it. I tried
It
same.
names the name is A30 Tiny.
Okay, I
Okay.
have to try this. I think in
Yeah,
China I can make it easy and have
yeah.
a test.
It's
Interesting.
a very small one, very lightweight, and it's a very good microphone. To be honest.
Okay. I personally use the Rode wireless go-to, and I just connect the receiver via USB-C into the camera, into the Ace Pro 2, and I get the best audio quality. I don't need to pair anything. I don't need to, the quality of the
Yeah.
Bluetooth is always a bit worse, and it's a bit heavier. The camera has that extra weight, that extra grams, But if you use it on a selfie stick or you want it on your helmet, you don't feel that weight so
Yeah.
much. So I accept this handicap, but I agree. In the future, a native solution will be very good. Yeah.
You know, I now, since you mentioned that, I have a question, or maybe like something that you can share with your R&D. You know, this door here for the, I don't know if you can see on YouTube. You are on YouTube. You know, the door here that I removed here to connect the microphone.
Yeah.
Wait, let me show you here maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Okay. If there is a possibility to have a door that has the opening for the USB, or that can connect the USB, and then you can get the USB outside directly, so you can plug the microphone. You know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's it's something that we might release in the future. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Because this one will be like time saver and camera savers for us here in Europe. We have you are from Spain, but you have more sun than what we have here. But here it's raining all the time and it's humid all the time. So in order to keep it somehow closed, you know, it's better to have something to cover this part.
The feature that the motorcyclists demand, motorcyclists that they have a camera on the chin mount for motovlogging, and they have their USB mic internal in the helmet. They need this kind of USB door with waterproofing solution, and it's something we can do for Ace Pro 2. Definitely, it's a big user demand, so we might do it in the future. Yes.
Okay, that will be I'll be thankful for that. And there are some questions about 8-bit and 10-bit. Once again, I made a comparison video between 8 and 10-bit like maybe a few months ago. I think it was before the release of the Ace Pro 2. And David Manning, which is one of my favorite creators, I was like surprised because he wrote me a nice comment. It was the first time I got a comment from such guys, you know. I was very happy about it because he said in his comment that he was trying to find a way to convince people that 10-bit is not always a good option. And he found my video and he was like happy with what I did. And there are still people saying that this camera should have 10-bit and so on. And what I always say is that personally, I like to get the footage and to throw them as fast as possible, you know, and to throw them online and to share my videos. I don't like to color grade, especially for these cameras, these small sensors. Even when you color grade for example, the DJI Action 5 Pro, if you apply the same color grading with the Pocket 3, you don't have the same exact things. You know, even if you have the same D-Log M, but you don't have the same exact colors when you color grade. Again, with the drone, so you have to tweak every one separately, and that's really time consuming for me. But there are people who are asking for 10-bit. I don't know if it can happen by firmware or not, or if it can happen in an upcoming camera or not.
Yeah, I think that's it's a hot question on the Ace Pro 2 and the Ace Pro 1. So I think we confirm already, via hardware, not possible to add 10-bit. So don't expect 10-bit on the Ace series this year for the Ace Pro 2 and for the Ace Pro 1. And that's very clear. So on top of that, you need to think who actually needs 10-bit, and if you are one of the people who needs 10-bit. In my observation, 10-bit is from those professionals that use the camera for professional use, and they need to match that camera footage with their other DSLRs or cinema cameras or broadcasting. And that for that use is definitely very legit to request 10-bit because it's a professional demand. So it's like, does it have USB port? Yes. If it doesn't have it, you cannot use it. So it's a deal breaker for that particular use case. On our user base, when we analyze our user profiles, most of people is not professional broadcasters or professional videographers that use the camera for professional use. Is a very broad use case for mainstream users, action users, casual users, that they will never know what is 10-bit until they listen about this on social media or YouTube videos, because all the cameras has it, and then it creates that necessity. But it's more psychological. You don't actually need 10-bit for your mountain bike ride with your friends that you want to share on WhatsApp groups. So it's a bit psychological. When you have 10-bit, I will bet a lot of money to how many times you will actually make use of this feature. At the same time, it's a good plus to have. And I don't say that having 10-bit is not a benefit. So some people might take advantage of it sometimes, and it's a good feature to have. And if it's for free and you don't need to pay extra, definitely very welcome to have. But yeah, at the same time, our camera delivers very good image quality straight off the camera. In my opinion, it's the best looking footage if you don't color grade and if you are not an expert color grader. It has a very big sensor, has a very large aperture, bigger than DJI, so the light collection in low light is better only by physics, and then has an amazing chip that can denoise the video in real time, so it doesn't have a denoise post-processing image look. At the same time, it has a Leica cooperation on the lens that can provide more clarity, and also using Leica color profiles in camera, you can get that Leica look without color grading in post. So it's done in camera, and it's without additional post-processing and additional encoding on our editing software. So 10-bit, unless you shoot 422 or ProRes, and then you color it and you export, you will always have that compression after one or two more encodings. So you also need to consider these factors in. So yeah, it's more about user choice. All the users who buy our camera very rarely complain about image quality, and that's a proof that, you know, out of the box, and also for most of use cases, you know, 10-bit is a bit more psychological necessity, not a
Yeah.
real user.
You know, for example, I don't know if you're watching on YouTube, if you have your phone on YouTube, you can see my camera, and it's a
Yeah.
Sony a6700, and it costs about 1,500. I have the Sigma 16mm lens on it. I have my light setup in my home studio office, and I'm shooting in 8-bit.
Yeah.
You know, because I
Yeah.
think, and this is something that I always say, I don't see a necessity to record in 10-bit, to have lots of storage, and to have issues when I'm editing the videos, because I put lots of side-by-side videos as well. So it's complicated. It will take more time to process, to edit, and to store. And by the end of the day, most of the people are watching on their smartphones or on their tablets. You know, for me, yeah, it's like, that's why I don't use it. But when I'm going to make weddings and so on, I use my cameras at the highest quality possible, just in case I need to make something. What I remember a few years ago, I used to film some wedding films with 8-bit cameras. And autofocus was horrible back then with DSLR mirror cameras, and everything was good, you know, the end result was good. The groom and the bride were happy, were satisfied, and it was in 8-bit, you know. So now if I go, I tell them, hey, I shot your wedding at 8-bit, they won't care because they like the video and they still have a good memory of it, you know. But as you said, it's psychological in lots of cases.
For many cases, but I also agree in very particular cases, 10-bit is a user need, and for that case, for that particular use case, maybe it will not be the best choice. To be honest, you can buy a camera with 10-bit if you really need 10-bit. That's for
Yeah.
sure. And lie about that.
I'm starting to read a little bit the chat here. There are some questions about 10-bit, 8-bit, and so on, about the colors that we answered, about the zoom that we answered. But Mr. Miyagi 2 Senseworth, he said that he would like to see some lenses that can replace the lens on the Ace Pro 2, you know, like the GoPro cameras, that you can plug maybe another lens and it can be read directly by the camera. I don't know if it's something that was already planned. I can see that we have some metallic elements, metallic connectors, or I don't know what they are when you flip out the lens and you put it on. I don't know if these are connected to the camera and the camera can read them or not.
Yeah, so that mechanical clips are just for the locking the lens guard,
Okay.
and that's why we have it like that. Yeah, I think the lens is always a fun thing to add. In my opinion, also the super wide angle lens can be very nice to have in some use cases. For example, for POV shots or things like that. Very particular needs will need that ultra wide POV. At the end, also it's more distorted and more artificial, and maybe some people have motion sickness and so on. But for some people, it is a good plus. What I see also more limited use case is for macro lens or anamorphic lens. It is also something that GoPro did. It can be very, very cool for some creative shots or for some particular use cases, but for the general user, I personally don't feel there is a big need on that. And also it requires much more, you know, you need to pay extra for that lenses and is an extra thing to carry, and you need to take care of them, don't scratch them, dust inside them. So it becomes more a delicate product, not an action camera anymore. So you also need to factor this in. Developing this also requires, you know, engineering and resources and time. We put this time on maybe more priority features or more innovation and software algorithms that maybe can result on better user experience. But yeah, it's definitely a nice plus to have lenses, and I don't say we might not do them in the future.
Yeah.
It's I think, yeah,
There
very
is
well.
there are some questions about, well, I would like to see in the upcoming camera internal storage, because this is something that was introduced by DJI, but it's something that now I wish that I have it even on my Sony cameras, my Fuji cameras. You know, it's I think Hasselblad also, they have internal storage, and this is something that I think it's worth putting it inside of the upcoming cameras. That's something very, very cool. Like, you know, for example, the Go 3, you already have it with the Go 3 camera, so the built-in storage is already there. So I think this is a good point for the upcoming camera. And there, what was it? A longer battery life, yeah, and
Everybody
OLED screens.
battery life. Battery life, to be honest, on the Aspro 2 is such an amazing battery life. I rarely go out and use more than one battery. But yeah, if a competitor has a bit more battery life, people will always compare and then downplay the battery life of one camera or the other one. Yeah, so we sell Aspro 2 with two batteries. You can buy the dual battery combo. It only costs, I think, $10 more. So it's virtually a camera that comes with two batteries, and it's our main SKU. And yeah, and if you put that batteries together, it lasts more than any competitor. So at the end, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
battery life can also be improved. We also have a battery life endurance mode in the
Mm.
camera that you can turn on, and it will extend the battery life around 30% more than without that. And yeah, we think about that, and definitely is a priority for us to keep optimizing. And in the future generations will be better and better. For
Of
example,
course.
on our X4, the battery life is unbeatable. It's such an amazing camera. Uh, I don't think anyone needs to have more than one battery on the X4.
Exactly.
As
I
you
was
you
wondering why we have two inside of the Peter McKinnon pack, but yeah, Peter
yeah.
McKinnon is on a whole different level. But
If you go on an expedition and you need to use a camera for 5 days, maybe you need two batteries.
yeah,
I'm joking. Yeah, you can use two batteries in one day if you use it a lot. But to be honest, you need to
but
use
you will
it
not
a lot.
make, yeah, you will not
Initially.
make a full content with the 360. It's like to get some rushes from, well, from time to time, you know, and that's why I never depleted one battery with my X4. Um, do you think that the diving house of the Ace Pro can work with the Ace Pro 2?
Yes, I know there is some. I don't want to confirm it officially. Okay, maybe I might be wrong because I haven't tried myself putting the Ace Pro 2 on the Ace Pro 1 case. But I heard it can fit in, but there is some friction, so it's not optimized and it's not officially compatible. But you can try. I think if it close, it will be waterproof.
Mm.
Um, Maybe in some situations you can maybe remove the lens guard, and then it will definitely fit in. Um, but yeah, it's I think it can be compatible. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, there are people asking about macro lenses. I'm reading the chat now about macro lenses and so on. And I don't know if you agree, but last year I bought an adapter from Amazon that I
Mm-hmm.
can clip on top of the cam on the lens. And I
Mm-hmm.
have a 49 millimeter close-up filter, or I can put maybe variable ND. And now I'm planning, last week I made during the live I showed how it works, and it works still with the Ace Pro 2, and it don't block the microphone, this mesh here of the
Mm-hmm.
microphone. And I'm planning to make some content with CPL with variable ND filters for some
Nice.
cinematic shots. And yeah, I think with a piece of 3D print, or I don't know how, you know, and we can get cheap filters, for me it's a good option. I mean, as a consumer,
Mm-hmm.
I make some videos, some walk and talk videos and some vlogs on the channel because this is what the people like, and I think these kind of adapters for like maybe $7 or something like that, they are worth the money and the investment rather than changing. I don't like changing the lens to
Yeah.
put something else on top of it, to replace it with something else, which could be not totally waterproof, or I don't know, not dust proof and so on. So I prefer just to keep the camera as it is and add
Mm-hmm.
things on top of it. For me, it's
Yeah.
like peace of mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's fun to experiment with cameras and to try filters and new lenses and new accessories and to expand the usability of the camera. You can make it morph into a different camera experience just with adding new stuff. And it's something we also experiment internally. I've seen cool ideas around the cameras that maybe hasn't been released yet. But yeah, it's always cool to have. And also, there are many third-party companies that develop maybe cases or selfie sticks or lenses that can expand the potential. And it's something that is always cool to see and to try for the first time and to test definitely.
I would like just to answer someone who is saying that the battery life is very poor compared to the DJI. If you go watch my video that I made comparing the battery life of these cameras, I know that with DJI I had maybe a few minutes more
Mm-hmm.
than with the Insta360, but the camera overheated and then it turned off, and I couldn't turn it on until it was like cooled down, the DJI camera. But the Insta360 didn't overheat, and I made the test in my studio here on this desk. I know we didn't have airflow coming around, and but I was making just to see how much they can last on one single charge. And I can consider this harsh condition because we don't have wind blowing and air coming around to cool them down. The DJI had like 2 minutes more or 3 minutes more, something like that. I don't have the numbers exactly, but it overheated and it turned off, and I couldn't turn it on again. While the Insta360, I could easily swap the battery, put another one, and continue recording without losing that time to let the camera cool down.
Yeah, that's also something to always weigh in and pay attention to. It's not just the spec numbers; it's about the user experience. So you can deliver much better user experience maybe with a more smaller spec sheet, and that's proven on many products around in the industry. And for example, the Ace Pro 2, what we focus a lot is on system stability. You will rarely see this camera crash or reboot or freeze or brick. I haven't seen any bricks on this camera. Maybe freezes on the very early firmwares, but when the firmware is final to the user, I never seen any freezing or any shutdown. It's super stable platform that we built in over the years. And then also reliability on, for example, SD card issues. The camera is very stable. It records very stable frame rate and bit rate. And it doesn't stop recording or things like that that maybe can happen on competitors. And also overheating is one of our number one priorities. Our camera will be designed to optimize overheating and to avoid overheating. So the body is designed in a way that dissipates the heat on the most efficient way. And you can definitely test overheating. It might overheat if you go to the Sahara Desert and you have
Of
it
course.
in the middle of the day and you don't move the camera. It's possible, yes, but on 99% of use cases that people will experience, you will rarely see overheating. And if you compare them side by side to competition, I can confidently say it will be the best performance.
Yeah. Um,
So the
this
question
is
is, why
yeah.
do you need to shoot 4 hours if it will overheat in the minute number 25? You better
Yes.
shoot 3 hours, but you can guarantee 3 hours of stable footage and peace of mind. That's something you cannot pay, and it's something you only get if the product is reliable.
Yeah. I got a nice question, but I think we answered it throughout of this video. Can you ask him what are some common user reported problems or limitations of the Ace Pro 2, and how effectively does the manufacturer's support and troubleshooting resources addressing these issues?
On Ace Pro 2 reported problems, I think I had maybe an experience of more issues on the Ace Pro 1, where, as you know, the Ace Pro 1 had some, first generation issues that we fixed very, very well on the second one. So it had the close focus issue. Some people thought it was a bit too close focus. That's something we improved on the second generation. Is definitely the best focusing on the three competitions. Also, the wide field of view on the Ace Pro 1 was a bit narrow. For blogging was very good, but for action sport was a bit limited. We also improved that by a lot, and now it's maybe the widest horizontally on the whole competition. The screen is also improved. Now the screen is very high resolution, very high refresh rate, and also is bigger. We improve all these small things. Maybe one complaint, I would say, to be fully honest, I don't see any deal breakers. Maybe the 10-bit, some people definitely complain about that, and there will always be, and that's definitely an issue that maybe in the future we can fix to make everybody happy. I 100% acknowledge that. And maybe, I think the flip screen is a very good feature for many, many users, because you can see yourself in a very big real estate. But sometimes when you need, for some use cases, you need two screens, and you don't want to be flipping them in and out, up and down. It's good to have a small screen and then the big screen on the back. For some use cases, you want to quickly transition between the two angles all the time. It's better to have it like that. I would say that's a small thing that maybe some people complain. But for the rest, in my opinion, I don't see any big flaws, or not to say I don't think the screen is a
Yeah,
flaw.
of course. Do you think that the flip out screen is solid and rugged? I saw a video last year made by It's Sky, I think, on YouTube. He stopped making camera reviews and camera tech things.
Yeah, Sky, yeah,
Yeah, and he's in the Netherlands. He's from America, from the States, but living in Netherlands. And he dropped the camera, I think, on purpose to test that screen, and it didn't break. But there are people asking, and they have this in mind, that a flip-up screen cannot be as rugged as as it should be for an action camera. But the same thing, in the same way, there are people saying that why we don't have autofocus. They don't want the flip screen because it's a moving part, but they ask for an autofocus inside of the camera.
Yeah, I think the flip screen is a very legit worry. The first time that an action camera has a moving part like that, and definitely some people might be worried that it's not performing at the same level as a fixed screen. I think you can only prove that over the time. So now, after 1 year releasing the Ace Pro 1, there has been zero increase on customer repairs about screen breaking. So we don't see any increase compared to X series or 1R related to screen issues. That's proving internally that there is no issues on having a flip screen on the camera. And then you can check it yourself. You can check on Reddit groups or Facebook groups or YouTube videos from users or influencers, anyone having issues on the flip screen. I challenge you, how many can you find? Maybe you will find some cases, like you will find cases on any product, but you will not see any trend or any big scale of people complaining about that, because it's definitely very durable. Even on the second generation, we even optimized the system to make it more durable. We double the times that you can flip it in and out, and it will not have any issues. So yeah, it's a very solid and rugged camera. You can actually, we shot some videos in the office just to test it and to release on social media. One of them is I was riding on top of the camera. The camera was with the flip screen open, and I was riding my motorcycle on top of the camera. So the camera just, the bike just step on the camera and nothing happened. The screen was fine. I can send you the video later. So it's, we put it up to the maximum test and to see what's the limit. And actually we couldn't break it. We couldn't break it at all.
There is someone asking if there is a service center available in India, and another one asking if my audience can get a discount when purchasing the Ace Pro 2.
So in India, I am not familiar if we have a service center. I can ask that and send you a message when I know about this. I'm not fully sure yet, but okay, I will let you know about this.
Okay.
And discount available for your followers. We don't usually make discounts on newly released products, and that's because we want to keep a price consistency and be fair to people that bought the camera on launch. We don't want to quickly discount the cameras straight after. I think it's not very fair for the early adopters. So yeah, I think maybe in the future we can definitely make discounts and make some special offers, and also maybe during sales campaigns like Black Friday or Prime Day, you can expect some discounts.
Yeah, and for those who'd like to purchase via my affiliate link, I know that they will get free gifts from Insta360. That will
Yes.
be, this is something to compensate a little bit the support from my channel as well. So that's something, it's not like I'm only earning commissions from the sales, but the people who are buying from my link, they are getting something also in return, which is a cool thing from you. Thank you a lot for that.
Yeah, it's a special appreciation to the YouTube community and to your channel followers. Yeah.
Uh, why there are no step-by-step instruction to remove the USB-C door on the camera? Well, it's easy. You have just to take it up and pull it up, and that's it. Last year I made a short video about it because again I got the same question, and you can go check that. But it's easy. Just open it, take it to the side. You can see Alex will do it live.
So this is the camera here, and then you just pop this down, and then it has this moving part, and you can always
Pull.
you can be confident, just pull it, and then
Yeah.
it will not break. It's solid, and you can put it back. So you can see this hook here has like a hook system, and then you hook this on one of these sticks here, and then it goes in, and then you just close it to make it waterproof, and that's it. But yeah, maybe we could put some small guideline. Maybe if you check in the user quick start guide, you will see that, but I'm not fully sure yet.
I'm not
Maybe
sure
on
about it.
the documentation you can find that, or on the website. But yeah,
Today, just to answer this question in a different way, today I was testing the DJI mic and the Holy Land Like mic on the camera. So I went out from home. I didn't take the USB-C door out, so it was on. And when I wanted to test it, I had gloves on, and it was easy even with gloves. I pulled like an idiot, on the door, and it didn't break. And that's a good thing. It's really rugged. I mean, in the doorway.
yeah. Maybe to put it back with the gloves will be more challenging.
Yeah, that's why. Look, that's why it's still open.
But yeah, it's very easy to put back. Just you need to put it on the right position. But yeah, it's not something that is designed to be removed every day 25 times. So
Yeah.
it's not maybe perfect like a USB port.
The
Easy to
idea.
put in.
The idea is if we have for the upcoming generation built-in storage and a door with a USB-C to the outside, so we can
Yes.
plug directly on it, with maybe a piece of silicone or a rubbery thing that covers it, which made it not like waterproof to dive in the water with, but for some drops it will be perfect. That could be ideal, and this is
The battery door, you can also remove it.
Yeah.
And what I like that is you can actually change the camera design. So you can see now I have this door here that has the quick release mount also on the side of the camera. You can mount the camera vertically on a mount, and that's very good because you don't need an external cage. And you can remove that very easy. You just open it like this, and then it pops out. You can put back the stock door, or you can buy this third-party door that has these attachments for the quick release mount. It's a third party. It's not waterproof. It's not covered by warranty if anything happens because it's not fully tested by us. But I tested myself. I like it a lot. I always use it. And
Yeah, very, very nice one.
And I use it for motorcycle. I don't need to have that L shape or visor mount on top of the helmet, and it's more compact, more small form factor.
Yeah, it's I think that this camera, well, what I like about it is this flip out screen. So if you'd like to add another screen, don't remove this one, please. If you'd like to
Okay.
add another, if you would like to change maybe the front
Got it.
screen and so on, it's
So you
up to
would like
you.
a screen and a flip
Well,
screen at the same time.
well, I don't need the front screen, but if there are people who would like just to turn the camera to record from both sides, they won't open the flip up screen, But if
Got
we
it.
will have a front screen that we can turn off, completely off, if we don't use it, that would be something. I know that it will affect the battery life because two screens at the same time, but yeah, that will be the user choice to keep the front one or the back one.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's very critical design choices. So it's not something we can add like quickly. It needs to be designed for that. And I think the engineers have evaluated many kind of designs and design combinations. And yeah, let's see in the future what do we do. But I personally don't know much about that. So it's in the future.
So I think we covered the questions, and I see that there are some questions coming. The ability to name the custom presets.
Yeah, that's feedback that we got several times, and it is a very solid and valid feedback. I think some competition has this, and yeah, I think it will be durable and possible to add. I will
And
keep
you,
sharing this. I think
yeah,
it's on the works, but I don't know if it will ever come. Like
okay,
we know this.
perfect. And by the way, you started to get some fans. This guy is better than their customer service.
Oh no, the customer. I think our customer service deserves so much appreciation, and they do a very hard work. They deal with so many customers. We is a company that we sell more and more products every day. So our customer service has an increased workload that they need to expand the team, but at the same time they get more requests and more requests because we sell more products. So they do a very important job for the company and for the user.
And there is some questions about onboard 3.5 millimeter audio jack.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we don't have that. I think non-action camera has this
yeah,
since many generations, but I think now with the USB-C, you can always connect USB-C microphones. Also, Ace Pro 2 allows this. You cannot connect the USB-C direct mic, like you can connect DJI mic or any USB lavalier, and it will work in many cases. Adding an extra port means that the camera will be heavier or will have a smaller battery life or maybe bigger form factor, or it will always have some compromise if you want to keep the same form factor and the same battery life. Or so it's about priorities. If it can be done with an adapter, it's something that you can as a user get on the benefit, on the weight or the cost or the size of the camera.
yeah, I have the audio adapter, but I use it only to when I made some timecode videos for Saramonic.
Yeah.
I find the Saramonic Ultra a great microphone because I can make the timecode connection between the mic and the camera, and I can use the camera wirelessly. But I need to plug the microphone receiver in the camera with audio 3.5 millimeters.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
If it's possible to connect it via the USB-C, that would be better. If there is something that can be worked on in firmware to let the camera read the USB-C data from Saramonic Ultra, that will be perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can share this feedback. I don't know if it tested or
It's a
if we
new
can.
microphone from Saramonic that was released maybe a few months ago.
I don't know. Okay. We will take a look into this.
I can send you a copy of the mic.
Sure. You can send me the link. I'm sure we can source some mics here.
I tried to make the time code with the USB-C. It didn't work, and to have the time code connected, it's always tricky. Even with the Sony or Fuji camera, it's not a simple procedure to do. But when I connected the audio adapter, the one that connects via USB-C, and you have USB-C and audio 3.5 millimeter, and then it worked.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we covered the questions. I don't know if you have something to say, if you have some questions in mind that you'd like to answer, before we end this live.
Questions from me to you or to
No,
your audience?
question from you to me, to my audience, or if you have received some questions and you'd like to, now you have the space to talk about them if you have something to
Yeah,
say.
I think we cover many of the main topics. I think I don't imagine any open questions that are important to resolve. But yeah, I just want to say that it's great to partner with you and to be in touch and to help you with information. I think definitely products and being open to the community are important, but sharing information and sharing honest points of view from the company is always very beneficial as a company, and your channel allows us, and it's also something that we appreciate a lot. So it's good to have these conversations. We should have them more often. Maybe we can do it regularly in the future, and it's something that I personally appreciate a lot. And
Yeah,
then I think your
it's
is
fun.
always very cultivated. They know a lot about cameras, about action cameras. I see your comments many times. They are not superficial comments about action cameras. I think your audience is very tech savvy and action camera savvy, and that's where we can get the most feedback and the most pro user and core user insights that can help us to keep pushing the boundaries. So we will pay attention to your comment section, to your messages, to your emails, and also if your audience has any ideas or any you know crazy, even if it sounds crazy, we can always welcome that and we can make them become something real in some way or another. Always
Who
welcome
knows?
to comment.
Who knows? Maybe we will see a camera signed by me in the future. That's a joke.
Yeah, okay. Can compete with Peter McKinnon and see who makes the best bundle.
No,
Yeah,
it was just a joke.
is our first co-developed product with someone, and I think was a very nice first try. We tested the product in Dubai with Peter, and I think it was the first time that he saw the finished product, and he was so excited. He loved the camera and sorry the accessories and the whole package itself. Is someone who pays so much attention to detail and to
Mm.
quality, and seeing his face was a proof of the overall result of the project. So I
You know,
think the first feedback from customers has been also very positive, and also you that you tested, you also share very positive feedback. So this will motivate us to do it more and to do similar things in the future.
I have something to say now because there are lots of big creators making content for Insta360. They get the camera before the release, they make the content, and then on the release date, they start pushing it online. And Peter McKinnon for me is something different, even though he's a Canon shooter and I'm not Canon shooter. But I love that guy because he's very genuine, he's very authentic in his content, and it's fun to watch, even if we are not into camera world, into filmmaking and photography. It's very fun to watch his videos. And when I see that this guy who is very into the details, when he make a camera backpack, when he make like the Polar Pro filters that he has his signature in on, and when we see all the details he put and all the effort he put in to make a product and to release a product, and now he's collaborating with Insta360, that means that you are delivering high quality product. And it's not like because I'm talking to you, but it's when Peter McKinnon approves something, that means that he cannot put his name on a brand or on a product that is not worth it, because he has all of the reputation of his name, of his brand. He is the ambassador of Canon, so he's not something like, you know
Yeah, definitely. I think that was a proof of our quality and our standards, and that was until it was not perfect, he didn't give green light to us. So we spent some time doing this bundle, and it's not just something you do in weeks. It took a lot of effort for multiple teams in the company and also co-creation with him, and at the end, very successful. I think it's selling very well. Impressive numbers when I see the back end, and that's very good news, and this will motivate us to do it more. So yeah, also if you have other recommendations or creators or athletes or what brands that you think we should co-create or bundle with or partner with, you can always let us know.
Sure, but I would like to go to visit Leica with all the amazing creators that you brought to Leica last time.
Yeah, Leica is also definitely one of our partners, and yeah, it was great to do that event. It is a small event we did with some
Yeah,
creators, and the feedback we got from them was so amazing. They felt very special to be on that, you know, cathedral of cameras, and
yeah,
they got a very nice experience. And Leica, I also visited that headquarters in the past, and was such a magic experience. So
yeah.
it's yeah.
But it's fun to see all those creators, you know, David Manning, Peter Lindgren, Tamara Gabriel, you know, and the other creators you brought to Leica to visit the Leica headquarters, to see them all hyped for the Insta360 cameras. And these creators are like the creators that I used to watch even before I had an idea that I might go in front of the camera. I used to be behind the camera always. And I
Mhm.
think these are the guys who motivated me to go in front of the camera and start making content and sharing my thoughts. You know,
Yeah,
it's fun to see them all together in one single place for one single cause. You know, that means that
yeah.
the camera is not just a gadget, and it's not like trying to get into the market as a gadget and it will disappear within a year or two.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I personally watched the video from Tamara and was such a beautiful edit. You can see the emotions, you can see that, real, genuine emotions and feeling of traveling to somewhere that is magical. I recommend to anyone who is watching this live stream to watch the video from Tamara Gabriel that she posted on, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago
Yeah,
on her channel. And it's not because of the Ace Pro or our collaboration. I think the video itself was very beautiful to watch.
yeah. It was fun when she met Peter Lindgren. He didn't know her. He didn't know her name. And she kept that inside of the video. That was amazing.
Yeah, it's honest, it's
Yeah,
fully full transparency and no script, real experience. I think that's why
yeah,
these creators connect a lot with the audience and they grow as they grow. You need to be genuine and you cannot script everything and fake stuff. Otherwise you will be caught. I think that's my point of view.
yeah. Of course. Although I script some of the videos because when you have lots of points, you have to have like some bullet points in order, especially when I'm talking about the product. You know, it's um, it's
Of
very
course,
tricky, and
information.
I'm not an English native talker. You know, I'm Lebanese. My main language is Arabic, Lebanese. I'm in France, so I can speak French fluently.
French very well. I saw your channel. You also post videos in French.
Yeah, and you know, the English is something that I like, that I learned at school in Lebanon, but I haven't practiced it, especially in France. We don't use English a lot.
Yeah.
That's
No, I
why
think it's
I
also like me. I'm not native, and I do my best to speak English the best I can.
you are in China. You need the English there.
Yeah, maybe I need Chinese more than English sometimes. The company, everybody speaks English, and we are many foreigners and Western people in the company. It's basically like working in a European or an American company.
Okay, so we go to pick the winner.
Sure. So what I need to do, you will
You
check
just
the.
maybe scroll on the chat list and just pick one. Yeah,
Okay, I scroll and I pick one. Okay,
yeah. Scroll and pick one.
stop
Let's
here
make
and
it.
I. Okay, so it's Jacopo di Giuli. Jacopo di Giuli. This one here.
Jacobo Di Giuli.
Yeah, just under photo wraps, Jacopo di Giuli. It's the one it was on the top of the list when I scrolled, and it's the first one
Okay,
I saw.
let me check it. Jacobo Di Giuli. If you are
Yes.
here, just write me a comment now. And congrats, you won an Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Thank you, Alex, for uh, this great thing
Yeah, you
that
got a good price, huh? Oh my God, the Ace Pro 2 is also with a new update and wow, and also things coming in the future for this camera that you will definitely enjoy. So yeah, congrats. And yeah,
But
hope you.
by the way, I would like to see the flat profile in the pure video mode. That's my a request from me. A flat profile in the pure video mode. That will be maybe a top-notch feature for this camera, in my opinion, for my use.
Okay. Okay, I think this is like before we discussed that pure video has a lot of algorithms and automatic, adjustments in real time. Maybe having a flat color will maybe contradict some of the logics on the camera, but it's feedback we can share. I think I will share this feedback about manual controls and maybe, if not possible, at least having a flat color or having both. It would be great. I think.
Yeah.
At least.
So I'm just checking if Jacopo is here.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
let's give him maybe a minute or two. And I know that the time is too late there in China. If you would like to stop this live, you are free to go at any time. I'm really thankful for you for being here and for getting all the concerns and answering my questions and for supporting my channel, because this giveaway means a lot to me. I'd rather prefer having giveaways on my channel, and in this way I can give the audience what they are giving me, because as you said, my channel grew a lot from last year till now. Well, a lot according to what I was, and it's something very, very motivating and very, very helpful for me. So thank you a lot. And okay, he answered, Jacopo.
Okay, nice.
Okay,
Great.
so Jacopo, please reach out. This is my handle here. You can see it on the screen, Photoraps for Instagram. Go there, write me all your information, your full name, your full address, and we can arrange the shipping. Well, Alex will arrange the shipping as soon as I will send him the information.
For sure. Yeah. And you can
Okay,
maybe post videos later when you get the camera. You can share some videos.
Yeah, of course. And if you need anything about the camera, if you have any question about it, you can whether check my videos or ask me, and I can drive the questions to Alex if I don't have the answer.
Oh, I think you know most of the questions now. I think you're one of the most experts about this Pro 2 in the whole YouTube. Yeah.
Well, that's something that I still have to learn lots of stuff. Okay, so Jacopo, okay, he's here, and okay, perfect.
Okay, guys. So that was a pleasure. It's a bit late now where I am. It's 12:30, but has been amazing to chat with you again, and it's something we did last year, and hopefully we can do more and more, maybe on every product launch or regularly. And that's why, yeah, I will personally push to get these live streams with you. I think it's very positive for you and for us and for the community. So yeah, it's just about finding the right time and finding the right topics. We can always, yeah, connect like this.
So thank you, Alex, once again for being here, for accepting being here on my channel, while you have the opportunity to be on bigger channels. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm really thankful for that. And yeah, I don't want to be late on you because it's too late already. Thank you a lot, and wish you maybe a good night and a good end of the week, and see you in another live stream very soon.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys, so thank you a lot for being here. Thanks for joining this live. It took too much time. I think we've been here for an hour and a half. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for joining this live and for commenting on my videos, for watching my videos, because this is something that is really motivating. Thank you for all of those who made the super thanks. Sorry, it's very encouraging once again. As Alex said, we will try to make more live streams together. I'd rather prefer having a live stream where he will answer your questions, and we have like this transparent communication, this transparent conversation with you, and let you win something in return, or let you just get the answers to the questions that you have. That's something that I really care about, and that's the main reason why I'm making these live streams. When I started my YouTube channel, I was not thinking at all that a brand will notice me, or that I will have views, or that I will have people watching my videos and so on. But once again, thank you. Thanks to everyone. Thank you for watching the videos, because that is making this happening today. And well, Jacobo, just to say it again, please write me on my Instagram. You can see the handle here, Photorabs. Write me a message on Instagram. Okay, you can reach out, or you can find my email on my YouTube channel. Go write me your information, name, full address, and so on, and I will drive this information to Alex, and he will arrange the shipping of the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, a brand new camera, just to your door. So that will be your gift for today, for being here in the live, for participating. And I'm sorry we couldn't make more giveaways for more people. Thank you a lot for being here. Let's see if there is something. Okay. So once again, if you have any concerns about the Insta360 products, you can write me your questions, as Alex said, and he will make sure to check my videos, my live streams, and they are answering the questions. And very soon I'll be making I have lots of content for Insta360. Well, for the Insta360 cameras, I have something for this Ace Pro 2 with the latest firmware, with different microphones and so on. The weather, as I said in the beginning of this video, is not very good today, so I have to finish it and post it hopefully on Friday or Saturday, so stay tuned for that. I have also some other content with the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro. As I said, I'm not a phone shooter, but yesterday in my DJI FOV Boost Lens, the intro was made with my smartphone, so why not? And I liked the image quality and I liked it, so why not trying to have something where I can create more content on the go with my smartphone? So this is an opportunity that I have. I will see if it will work for me or not. So thanks again. I wish you a good day, and thanks for being here once again. And congrats for Jacopo, and see you guys in another live stream. It's not gonna be this Friday, okay, because I'm used to make my live streams on Friday, but next Friday, of course, I'll be live, and we'll be talking about new stuff. Thanks once again. Have a good day, and thank you for being here. Ciao.